So there's a couple of things I want to go over with basically how not to have bad sexual experiences, okay? So we have to talk about this whole partner thing, like who you're having sex with, okay? And who you choose to have sex with. So number one is that it's just really important to learn how to say no to sex. No to sex. Like, you don't have sex? No. You're advancing on me? No. Your hand is on my thigh? No. Okay? If it's the wrong partner, just remember, like, you own that no, okay? Like, you own that no. And yeah, like, sometimes we need to have a little bit of muscle behind it too. Learn how to do, have some pepper spray on you, have an alarm on you, learn a little bit of self-defense. I think it's really important for everybody, especially when we look at the rates of violence towards girls and women. It's just a reality, that we should, be prepared for. The wrong partners are authority figures, like teachers, like pastors of the church. You know what I mean? Like, just, there's nobody, like, who's an authority figure, like your boss. Like, there's no authority figures that you should be having sex with. Like, those are, for the most part, almost always exclusively wrong partners, okay? Number two, family members, older family members who's like, brother, whose friends might be over, or they have their own partners and their partners like you too, like, nah, like, or they're spending the night and, no, this is all wrong partners, okay? All wrong partners. Okay, so no family members, none of their friends or like significant others, okay? Forceful partners, okay? If they're being forceful, like, no, and again, a little self-defense, a little bit of like discernment in whether or not you're alone with this person. Hopefully beforehand you will be able to tell, but yeah, nobody should be forceful. So some of the things that you might notice beforehand could be that if they're very possessive over you, like they don't like when you have friends, or they don't like when you talk to your friends about them, people that put you down, people that do not respect when you say no to hanging out with them and try to make you feel guilty for having your own life or having other things going on, especially if they're trying to make you feel bad for going to work or school and doing things that are for the good of your life, or even say like going to family events and things like that. If they're making you feel guilty about that, like too possessive and too forceful. And like, just identifying and thinking through these things are really important, because you want to do it before you're in bed with them. You don't want to find out. You don't want to find out then, so pay attention to these little things early on, okay? So they block your exit. That's a big one. If somebody blocks your exit, like, maybe you guys aren't seeing eye to eye about something, and you're like, what, like, it's time for me to go, and they ever block your exit, or like, something like that, that's a big, like, red flag, okay? Like, everybody needs to have like their own autonomy and their own independence to be able to come and go as they please at all times, okay? Nobody owns you, or like your time, or like your space, right? Okay. One of the kind of early signs that you might see is if somebody takes your phone or your wallet. Say you want to leave, but they take your phone so that you can't. Like, it may be in a playful way, but it's still like not okay, Okay, so these ones are a little bit obvious, but of course it's never okay for your, partner to be grabbing you, pulling you, striking you, or throwing things at you. A lot of times it can just be an anger or whatever, okay? None of those are okay. That's the wrong partner. You don't want to find out in bed. Like, please pay attention when this happens, like, firsthand, and make sure that you're not alone with the person, unless they get some help for their anger management, or unless something changes, like, they're the wrong partner, okay? And then coercion. A lot of times there might be somebody who's very nice, and could be the right partner, but but they're like coercing you or into a situation, or you for whatever reason think that you've been told you have to because you're in this specific situation, okay? So that is not a reason to have sex, okay? These are all reasons why people have sex, okay? But that they shouldn't. Like, again, you should have sex if you're with the right partner. They respect your body. Y'all are following the sexual health guidelines, and you want the vitamin S. Okay, here are a bunch of reasons not to have sex, okay? You don't have to if you're in one of these situations. You do not need to use like coercion. You do not need to listen to peer pressure that if you're in this situation, you need to have sex. You have sex when you have the right partner. when y'all are following the vitamin S guidelines, when you want the vitamin S, you know what I mean? Like when you're following natural libido, that's when you have, that's when you have sex. These are reasons not to have sex, okay? Anytime there's any coercion, like people are trying to like force you into it for a specific, like as if it's your obligation. Number two, if there's peer pressure, like you're such and such, you're this old and you haven't, no, okay? No. When you're ready, okay? And when you have the right partner. Don't just like have sex with any old rando because, you know what I mean? Like, because you turned, what? I don't know what the age is. What age do they say? Oh my gosh. If you're in college and you haven't had sex, I mean, these are 18-year-olds.
Oh yeah, but you meet someone and then they're like, let's go to my dorm. Your dorm? Are you serious? Anyways. My roommate might know.
Yeah, and then it's different, like, in every country and every culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so reasons not to have sex. Like, you do not have to. Peer pressure. Fear. Okay? You're scared what this person will do if you say no. Okay? They might break up with you. You know what I have to say about that? Good riddance. Wrong partner. Okay. Good riddance. Bye. Bye. Okay. Prom night. You don't have to have sex on prom night. You may not have the right partner. You may not find them for a little while. Okay. Prom night. Like the person that you take out to prom, like that you bring home to your family and that you take a picture with and that you go to an event with, that may not be the right partner. That may just be one of your like friends, you know what I mean? Like that is good for that type of event. Doesn't mean you have to have sex with them, okay? Threats, okay? If somebody's threatening you, again, like locking the door, again, a situation where, often like some pepper spray, an alarm, making sure that you are never alone with this person and like talking to somebody about it, that somebody's threatening you, should hopefully be able to happen before you're in the situation. Popularity. Sometimes people are like, just want to be popular and they think that this is the way to do it. I mean, it's one way to be popular. I'm not going to say it isn't, but I don't think it's really the popularity. It's not genuine. It's not the popularity that's going to get you good friends, and it's not the popularity that's going to get you the right partners. Yeah. We talked about Sweet 16. I don't know about the quinceañera. I don't know if that is one of them, but like certain coming of age, things. If it's a party and everybody's drunk and somebody invites you upstairs, you don't have to. You don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. If somebody gives you gifts or if they give you money. Gifts and money are like, okay, sweet, and like some people that's like, they love receiving gifts. That's their love language. But you have no obligation because somebody chose to give you a gift or money. I think sometimes like, wannabe partners, confuse that, right? So it's like, oh, okay, well, I gave you, this much for your birthday and I took you out to dinner and I did this, so then they think that you're obliged to them and you're not, they're not the right partner. You'll decide when, and if that's the person. And then so another thing to be mindful of is like not accepting gifts. Like if you feel like those gifts are tied up in like some expectation. Party games. Party games are not a reason to have sex, okay? If you get dared to do something, if you get put into a closet with somebody in the dark for a certain amount of time. Okay, if a bottle spins around and points at you and some other random person that you're at the party with, okay, none of these are reasons why you have to have sex, okay? I don't know if I said alcohol, like just because you're drinking or the other person's drinking, like it's actually a really bad time to choose to have sex, like especially if it's like you're early on in this, Okay, so these are all like reasons that you do not have to have sex, and just own them, okay? Just own them.